guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bianca and welcome to my makeup and astrology channel. This is where I just do my makeup and talk about different parts of astrology. So if either of those things interest you, then continue watching and enjoy. If you enjoyed so much, you should go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe and watch my past videos because I have a lot out there. And you can turn on your bell notifications so you can get updated when I post, which is every Wednesday and Sunday. You can also go ahead and follow my social media, which will be up on the screen, my Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, so that's my little spiel, and I hope that you enjoy this video. Little disclaimer, I mentioned this in my last video, but I reacted badly to a facial cleansing product. Therefore, I won't be putting makeup on my skin until my face clears up from that, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So I won't be posting any videos where I do my makeup. And also, the world is still in shambles, police brutality, systematic racism, systematic oppression, COVID-19. There's still a lot going on. So there are going to be places where you can donate, places where you can sign petitions, and also a list of Black astrologers and tarot readers that you can go ahead and support during this time. And let's get into this video. So in this video, we're still going to be talking about sun signs, but now we're going to be talking about sun in the fixed signs. And what are the fixed signs? Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. I guess I can give a little sun refresher in the beginning of the video. It's how you want to be a hero in your own story. The sun is a very masculine planet. It can represent fathers. It's really the motivation for your own self-expression. That's really it. Real short, quick, sweet, to the point. And fixed signs, they literally follow cardinal signs. They're right after, because it's Aries, then Taurus, you know, Cancer, then Leo, Libra, then Scorpio, Capricorn, then Aquarius, you know. So how the cardinal signs are starting things and beginning things, fixed signs are sustaining and maintaining. What the cardinal signs have started is essentially what they do. They're very much on sustaining and maintaining things. Also very concerned with their self-worth and how they define their self-worth. So I will be getting into that now. We can just jump into the signs. So we're going to start with Taurus suns. So how Taurus suns would identify their self-worth and what they what they relate to are very physical things. Remember that Taurus is a fixed and earth sign, so that's very on the physical plane. So Taurus suns will identify and self-express through physical means. They identify through body and possessions, how they look and what they have. Also remember that Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is also a pretty physical planet in a sense. Venus can rule money. Venus rules objects of beauty, art. So Taurus is really focused on exploring and experiencing the physical plane, very much on comfort and luxury. Taurus suns get Taurus in general, they get the stereotype of being lazy, but I just said that they are a fixed and earth sign. They're not lazy because they can actually get things done. It's just whether they want to or not, whether they're interested in that or not. Oh, they're not lazy. I wouldn't say that they're lazy. I feel like they're selectively active. They are going to choose what they really care about. Yes, they may be slow to move, but once they're going, it's like a steamroller. They are going to plow anything that's in their way. They are really focused on traditional things and prefer to stick to the status quo. They fixed and earth, stubborn. Stubborn, stubborn, stubborn. If we're gonna say something, we're gonna say that they're stubborn. When I say they're stubborn, they're very much gonna stick to their thoughts and ideas. They will probably prefer a strict routine. Again, not really wanting to stray away from the status quo, not want to stray away from what they usually do. Remember, Taurus also rules the throat. Taurus placements in general can signify a nice voice, a nice voice, maybe even like a person that can sing. I also want to get back to their Venus influence and how they are very much on leisure and sensuality and comfort. A Taurus sun, they know luxury, they know comfort. Like, Taurus sun's aesthetic to me is really like bubble baths and massages. Get a massage from somebody who's a Taurus. It'll change your life. With Venus ruled signs, there is a risk of overindulgence, especially with Taurus, overindulging in too much comforts and too much sensuality and too much focus on the physical plane, that they can ignore their spiritual journey and not really look into the spiritual world, just focus on what they can see. Also, because they're that Venus ruled, definitely think artsy fartsy. With Taurus, I lean more towards music because they rule the throat. Wine and sips were probably created by somebody with Taurus placements, probably a Taurus sun. You can sip wine, be artistic, listen to some nice relaxing music. They probably want to do it in their house though. That's also another thing. Taurus suns probably enjoy just staying in their house. They probably just enjoy being at home around things that they know are going to bring them comfort. Their home is very much their sanctuary. So Taurus suns, when it comes to like a father figure, they remember that earthness. They needed somebody who they could depend on. They needed a father figure that was dependable. Also somebody who encouraged them to explore the arts, encouraged them to explore their creativity, and also someone who just was able to comfort them. So I think that's it. That's all I had to say about Taurus suns. Now we're gonna go to the Leo suns. And remember that Leo is ruled by the sun. So no one can tell a Leo sun anything. They want to express their identity by giving and creating. Leo suns just have the ability to shine and give warmth. They're really focused on what makes them unique. But the thing is, they do all of these things, but they're not doing it for free. They're not just doing it to do it. They're doing it because they also want to be acknowledged. Like, Leo suns really want to be acknowledged by others. They want people to acknowledge them for their uniqueness and their special abilities. So when they give, it's not necessarily that they want you to give them something back. They just want acknowledgement and appreciation for what they've done. You know, they can be a bit of a prima donna, and they are susceptible to ego attacks and temper tantrums when they aren't worshipped and acknowledged. That's something that they do need to work on as a Leo sun. You know, there's this idea or stereotype that like Leo suns are like show-offs or really just want the spotlight to be on them, which can be true in moments. With Leo suns, they naturally gravitate to like the center of attention. People kind of thrust to them there. But also, like, remember that Leo is a fire and fixed sign. That fire signs are really about expressing their identity. That's also a reason why fire signs have triplicity with the sun. So when you think of what Leo suns needed in a father figure, it's very easy to assume that they needed a dad who was warm and catering to them, warm and caring, and also giving them the attention that they needed. So I feel like I've said that like Aries are born leaders, but like Leos are also natural born leaders. They have an amount of charisma and just oomph that makes people want to follow them. And they are the center of attention, but people naturally push Leos to the center. Like it's just a natural, like everybody wants to listen to what they have to say, so like get on stage and speak. Leo suns, that's also like a placement for, I would say like acting, just being on stage, being a performer. Again, like Leos are very active. Remember that fire sign has them going. Leo suns also want the same adventures. Like all fire signs want an adventure, but Leo suns want to go on a unique adventure, maybe an adventure that people haven't went on before, something that is different. Oh, they rely on others to critique them, but they don't want negative critiques also. Remember that fixed signs are all about self-worth. To attack like a Leo sun's talents, to critique a Leo sun's talents, is to really critique. They will view that as you literally critiquing their whole being. Like you could have made a critique on, hey, maybe you should say that line this way, and now all of a sudden it's, wow, you just don't like me, you might as well just say that. But it's not that. We're just critiquing one thing. So one thing that Leo suns may need to learn is, well, one, everybody is talented. Everybody has unique talents. So like you have to appreciate everyone, and everybody needs to be acknowledged. You can't just want everybody to acknowledge you and your talents. As well as don't be so dependent on the approval of others. I don't know if anybody's watched Victorious, but I have. And that episode where Tori does the bird scene and she keeps doing it, and people, and Psychowitz is still saying like, no, you're not doing it good, you're not doing it well, because she keeps asking like, well, how was that? That very much gives off Leo's sun. Stop asking how was that. Have confidence in what you brought to the table. And that's like the end lesson for Tori as well, is like to stick up for like, hey, I did an amazing job. I know that I did an amazing job, and you can't tell me any different. So that's really something that I feel like Leo suns could benefit from. And now we're gonna go ahead to Scorpio suns. Scorpio is a water sign, water fixed sign. With Scorpio suns, very intense. I feel like that's the first thing that you say with Scorpios in general. They are very intense, very intense on an emotional level. They really want to explore emotional and spiritual connections. They're very focused on the unconscious nature, like the underlying reasons, and they will really just zone in on that with other people and with themselves. They really focus on their unconscious nature. Very much they want to explore what is hidden. That's why they really focus on the unconscious, what is hidden, what you can't see, what is underneath the surface. And they have like a very single-mindedness with it. They're very locked in to figuring out what's the truth. Scorpio suns go through the cycle of birth, growth, death, and rebirth of the ego. Problem here is the sun doesn't want the ego to die, because that's literally like the ego shapes the identity at all times. So like that's just like a weird thing for Scorpio suns to have to deal with. It's really a constant tug and pull of these going through these cycles, and once you get to that like death stage, it's a hard time. It's very much a tower moment. With Scorpio suns, you would get that they're very loyal and very dependable. That's a really big thing for Scorpio suns. Loyalty and truth. They don't, once you lie to a Scorpio, it's really just really like, it's just really like you had to lie, because they're gonna get to the bottom of the truth anyway. So you might as well not hide it. You might as well just come out and say what you have to say, because once you break that trust, they're really done. They're really done. Because remember, they are a fixed sign, so they'll be really for you and this emotional connection and this relationship, this emotional relationship, because that's really all they can focus on, this emotional relationship. But once they're over you, it's done. And I feel like that's with all the fixed signs. Once they're over you, it's really like, okay, like it's over. Like I tried to be your friend, I tried to be your partner, I tried to be all this. So with this focus on the emotional, this great focus on the emotional, you know, there are problems with like the physical, and people might think that Scorpios are brooding, but they feel things so deeply and intensely, it's hard for them to communicate that effectively to others, so they would just rather be silent. And also, like when it comes to a father figure, Scorpio suns probably need first of all, they need a father that's going to tell them the truth, don't keep things hidden from them. Also a father that's really going to cater to their emotions. They'll probably benefit from a father who can help them, can teach them to communicate these emotions. They need a father who can teach them to communicate these emotions effectively. Because to feel all these things and not be able to tell anyone about them, what's the point? We're going to go to the last fixed sun sign, which is Aquarius. I don't know if you remember, but I talked about how the sun is in fall in Libra, and how the sun isn't really that comfortable in any of the air signs, because now look, the sun is in detriment in Aquarius, and that has to do with the fact that air signs are very much about relating to others, while the sun is really just about the self. That's why fire signs flourish in the sun, because that fire energy is really about identity of self. So Aquarius is very much about group conscious and the collective and the group's needs. Sun in Aquarius will put the group over themselves. They are a little idealistic and humanistic and altruistic and very much about equality and fairness. Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, so it's very much about rules and boundaries and responsibility. So Aquarius feel like it's they're responsible for the collective, responsible for making sure that the collective gets what it needs. It's weird because like Aquarius, they have an ability to think outside of the box, outside of Saturn's restraints. But the reason why they do that is so that they can really look head on at Saturn and see what rules and structures work and which ones don't, and then destroy the ones that don't and build up new ones. So Aquarius suns get this idea of being a rebel, but I feel like they get it for the wrong reasons. I feel like people give it to them because other people view them as like outcasts. But the thing is, You have to rebel against the structures that are in place now in order to build new structures. I don't want to spoil anything, but like Saturn is in Aquarius right now, which can very much easily explain why everything is happening the way that it's happening in the world right now. Because people are like stepping outside of the restraints and the structures and seeing that they don't work, seeing that these structures are terrible for the people that these structures are supposed to serve. And Sun in Aquarius is very much like that. They step out and they see the structures aren't serving their purpose, so they're gonna destroy it. You have to rebel against the structures in place now in order to build new ones. So that's really where they get that rebelliousness from. But one thing that Aquarius does kind of fail with is they don't look at each person in the group as individuals. They just kind of make blanket statements. You know, equality versus equity. Aquarius suns are eccentric, they are innovators, they are thinking outside the box. Remember, they have that air quality of them, so they're thinkers. Are their ideas realistic? Maybe not all the time. But you can deal with an out of this world idea and formulate it so that it can really work on the physical plane, you know? Aquarius suns, they probably need a father figure who was humanistic as well. Someone that questions authority, but also just questions everything. They need a father who could deal with, they need a father who questioned things, and also a father who could deal with the Aquarius sun questioning things. Aquarius suns are probably the kids that are like, well, why? Like, why is that like that? But they're not just asking like, why is the sky blue, but like, why are the systems like that? Why do people hate people like that? Why? Just asking why about social things, like social structures. So Aquarius suns definitely needed father figures who could put up with that. Aquarius sun, that's the thing, they are so focused on the group. They need to learn what's part of their identity, what they really are. Aquarius suns may be known for constantly switching up their identity, but what are you really known for is something that Aquarius suns need to really think about. I think that's all I really needed to say about Aquarius suns. Yeah, this is a shorter video. I'm not doing a whole bunch of craziness and getting distracted, so I can be very to the point and direct. So we will do a little recap real quick. Remember, Taurus sun's all about physical expression and possessions and identifying their self-worth through what they have and also their body and physical things, purely physical things, dependable, loyal, that whole shebang. Also, Taurus sun, not lazy, selectively active. Leo suns, happy. The sun is their ruler. They're happy. They express their identity through creativity and giving and sharing their unique talents, but they also really want to be appreciated and acknowledged for that. Need to stop that. Focus more on you appreciating and acknowledging your own talents. Scorpio sun, really wanting to dig into those emotional connections, really wanting to focus on the unconscious nature. You need to focus on your conscious nature more. Need to figure out your consciousness. Need to figure out your physical. Don't need to constantly be stuck in your depth and what's hidden. Just focus on, you know, not everything needs to be that deep and intense. Focus on your focus on the surface level things sometimes, you know? Aquarius sun, the sun is in detriment in Aquarius. It's not comfortable there. Aquarius is very much focused on group and collective needs and doesn't want to be selfish, but also Aquarius, you need to learn how to be selfish and focus on what you need and focus on what you identify with and what you truly represent. And I think that's it. There's nothing else to say. And I hope that you guys learned something new here. If you have any of these placements, I hope that this resonated with you. If you know anyone with these placements, go ahead and share this video with them. Maybe they'll find this interesting too. And with that being said, I hope that you like, comment, subscribe, because I will be putting out more videos. And yeah, so I'll see you next time. Bye.